today.
Did he say?
I said, I guess he's not coming today.
Oh, let's see. I haven't messaged him yet to see. So, let's see. Where is he? Where
So
is
I
there's
won.
very smart guess. You just use the obvious one.
he?
Making the obvious obvious. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. He's not online, so maybe he's still got the problem
Yeah.
sleeping. But let me. I said to Janelle, if Brian don't come, you come.
You
So
come.
let me
Yeah.
message her. Yeah.
Hmm.
If not, I'll see if Jocelyn, he's struggling with the French government. He's got a whole lot of stuff to do. Set up a company and this and that and all sorts of stuff. So he also missed his. So,
Oh, did he? Yeah, I think there's two.
yeah,
They have something. They don't call it the PPP loan, but it sounds like something like that.
similar. Right,
Yeah.
right,
And what they have to do to get money from the government, and then they have to
right,
prove
right,
it's a lot
right,
of paperwork. It sounds
right.
like.
And there's a bit of time pressure on it, from what I
Sure.
understand. So he's a bit pressed for time. So
Yeah.
I
So
let me
is he
just
stopping
message
the
him.
program, or is he just taking a day
No,
or
no, no. He just skipped it. No, no. He's just under pressure. So
something? Because he was supposed to be before Robin. No,
yeah,
1:30. Yeah.
correct, correct.
Yeah.
All right.
Hmm.
Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. All right. Well, we got stuff we can do.
Yeah, we
So,
could do the
we
course.
exactly. We go to right.
Oh, I don't
Made
know.
all the modules. They're all there now. Yeah, just fill them in now. So we're still on module one, I think. Right, or the introduction. Where are we? Oh, we did the introduction. We finished it. Yeah. All right.
Right to Deanne. I'm gonna quick write to Deanne while I'm thinking about it.
Ah, good.
You open it up, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I was getting to where we were. Oh, good. We've done quite a bit here. Oh, look at that. Lots. Oh, all right. Well, I thought we were still there, but I guess I finished module one. So, all right. Very cool. Very cool. Oh, good deal. All right. That was. Hello, Beena. So, what did the art people say, Beena? Tell us all about that. What's up? What's involved there? I want to hear all the details. I can't wait. Sorry.
Uh, I was thinking to take a short course, which was like 12 classes, uh, 12 regular classes, and three um, a different one, a bit longer one. So it was a 1 month course, and it was like a crash program. You can go in all details and everything. So, but it was taking a bit longer, and I was not sure that I would be able to do my practice enough for everything. Then I said, okay, what about some other programs? And then they said, okay, we have 2 months also, in which we will go more in details. And I said, then it is good. It is not very long,
Yeah,
but 2 months is okay.
yeah,
It's still a short course, but it's a very basic things like
yeah.
basic drawing, sketching, which I feel that I need that, a basic technique, and also use of different materials like soft pastels, oil, and pencils, and other things. So that was something, and charcoal also, which I love. I love to do that, and so these type of things involved in that. And I just need a very basic one, which in which I can learn basic drawing and some basic knowledge of how to use different materials. That's it. After that, I will do by my own. I cannot follow rules for very long, so I will go by myself.
It's hard to do that when you're an artist because it's just that creative mind that goes wonky. Yeah.
And also, Sue, I have a very interesting placement in my birth chart. Uh, my Jupiter is in retro and at the 29th degree. It's a very interesting placement. So
What does that mean?
all the learning, first, retro means that all the learning will not be in conventional way. It will be in opposite way.
Oh,
So like when I started, I was trying to, okay, I was interested in poetry. When I started, I choose all the classics, maestros. And when I read their poetry, now I cannot tolerate any nonsense, even my own. I don't call it poetry. I said, okay, it's just rhyming. So people start from the beginning and then they gradually grow up to there. I started in a different, opposite way. Same with all my learning. I have a different understanding. First, I need to be comfortable with any subject. It takes very long. When I was doing my system analysis and design, and for a month, I was the dumbest one in the class. I had no idea what they are talking. And I was just looking at my teacher and listening and making notes. And when actually he just gave me a robot example that, okay, how to design a program for a robot to make a coffee. And then my eyes wide open and he says, what happened, Beena? I said, now I understand what. He says, what? For a month, what I was doing? And I said, I had no idea what you were saying. Now I understand what I have to do. And he was like, really? They were laughing because the whole basic thing was not getting into my mind. And this is the whole how my mind work actually. I do struggle with simple things.
Not amazing.
But complex
Not
very
amazing.
easily. So
We learn differently. All right, while we wait there.
yeah.
Since you were talking about Jupiter aligning, here we go, Beena.
Not aligning, my Jupiter is in retro.
Oh. Well, you talk about Jupiter, so all right.
Jupiter is about higher learning.
All right. Can you hear or no?
No, I think
It's not very loud. It's not very loud.
I think you showed me this scene before.
I did. I just want to get to the Jupiter part.
Okay.
While we wait. So magical. Oh, I can watch it again and again. It's very cool. You can hear now, right?
Jupiter is about, no, very,
You
very
can't
slow.
hear?
Yes.
Really? Wow.
Soft.
How about now?
Yes, a bit. Yes.
Better?
Yes. Oh. With a song?
You can hear?
Yes, music. Yeah.
Yeah, it's while we wait for Sue.
Yeah. It's just a little, you can hear just very faintly.
Oh,
Yeah.
really? Wow.
There.
Any person who alters, forges, knowingly destroys, knowingly mutilates, or in any manner changes this certificate may be fined not to exceed $10,000 or imprisoned for not more than 5 years.
It's hard for me to actually just.
It's hard for you to what, Beena?
Actually,
I think she starts with the Jupiter thing now. Yeah, there we go. I don't know. There you go. That's all I wanted to get. Just do that part. It's just such a build up, and then that voice. It's just so powerful and beautiful. That voice. I don't know. It's cool.
Jupiter is
Yeah, it's
about
cool.
your philosophy of life, about your ideology, religion, about legal matters, about your understanding,
Hmm.
higher knowledge.
And
And it's in
Mars. But I mean,
it's
no.
in
In
retro.
terms of what she's singing, when she's saying when Jupiter aligns with Mars, what happens then?
Oh, when Jupiter aligns with Mars, you get really progressive and aggressive a bit about imposing and spreading your ideas and philosophies in general. Because both are
Oh,
fire planets, and it's about ideology, philosophy, uh, lifestyle, not lifestyle, but and religious stuff. So people
interesting.
people just get more aggressive, more progressive towards that.
Interesting. Jupiter was
And
in alignment with Mars last year, right?
I don't remember that.
Wasn't it like October,
Maybe.
November last year sometime? They were aligned?
No, it was Jupiter Saturn conjunction. I
And
don't
yeah,
remember.
Jupiter, Saturn. I thought then Jupiter and Pluto, and also Jupiter and Mars. I thought
Could be.
all
Yeah.
at some point in the year they were aligned.
Sue, how's your friend?
Who? The
Uh,
kidney guy?
no,
Rick,
not the woman with she was asking about moon cycle and
Oh, she went out. She was looking for a book. She said, "You have no idea." She said, "How hard it is to get a magazine that
yeah.
is quality paper." She said, "There's hardly even any magazines out there because everything's online." But she grabbed a lot of that stuff. And here's the good news: when I don't hear from her for Bernadette, uh, things are going really well for her. I
oh, good,
know she took it seriously and was,
good,
like this.
good,
So I'll
good.
check in with her.
Yes, that's right. You gave all those detailed things to do. Did she follow up on those? Do you know?
As far as I know, I mean, because she said, "Isn't this really weird?" She said, "I want to find a magazine." She goes,
Hmm.
"I've been looking for magazines." I said, "There's some specificity here with these magazines. They have to be high gloss paper and
Yeah.
you don't have to read them. It can just be photos and so forth." And she said, "I'm struggling to find one," but she said it all made sense. And then we obviously we can't go out to that nice restaurant and have some tea with the fine china and the wonderful flatware yet, but we're going to do it. She said, "Yeah, yeah, you and me, I want to go with you. So we'll do it." Yeah, but I think it's clearly,
Yeah.
when
Like you
she
said, no
gets
news is good news when it comes to Bernadette, right?
yes.
Yeah.
But she's learned when it's bad, she reaches out, which she used to just,
Yeah.
cover it up for
Ah,
months and
very
months
good.
and months.
Now she may also be a one you want to do the feeling and believing course since that's up, ready to go. Audio. I've did the audio on module
Oh, yeah,
one,
yeah, yeah. Yeah,
so uh,
I
I
can
should have
offer that.
audio on module two finished today. So yeah,
Cool, cool. Yeah, I just sent Deanna a message. Yeah, I'll probably talk to Lee Bernadette today, but I'll offer that to her. Yeah, that'd be cool. Like you said, I
yeah,
think you
yeah,
mentioned
yeah.
it may shift the anxiety and worry. From,
Exactly. It should do if appropriately done. It's a different way of coming at it, not directly because we're dealing with the overall abstract of that. Absolutely can be applied to anxiety and worry. But we won't focus on that specifically. We'll just let it happen organically and see if she makes that connection. Be
hmm
interesting to see. Yeah.
hmm yeah,
Let her
definitely.
put two and two together. Yeah.
hmm
Yeah. Yeah. Very cool. Very cool. All right. So let's go look at what we're doing. Let me make this full screen. All right. So we on module two already. Yeah. So this is aware of exactly what anxiety and worry is. So that was just all the contents there, and we had this assumptions of probability and potentiality. I'm just reading through these to bring us up to speed. When we
hmm
look at the future, worry is when we assign a negative probability to or potentiality. I can take out these. That's just a habit I have for making posts because whenever I share them to Facebook, this doesn't the italics doesn't carry over. So.
Mhm.
All right. That belief, that assigned negative belief, is the worry. We are deciding that it will be negative, and therefore we need to worry. I guess I need to have all. I'm gonna have all sorts of italics here. Emphasis. We need to worry, and if it's recurring and regular that we have such potentials in our life, then we have anxiety, right? So,
Mhm.
okay, we are saying what anxiety is.
Mhm.
That's our focus here. Misapplication of goodness. If we don't worry about dangerous or troublesome possibilities, we believe this makes us bad and uncaring people. Of course, it's not true, but this is a typical belief of those who worry and are anxious. We are trying to be good by worrying, but it's sadly not the only option available to us, as we shall see later. Nonetheless, it's most helpful to understand an underlying motivation is us trying to be good, but unfortunately in an inappropriate way. All right. Assumptions of probability and potentiality. Of course, sometimes a coming something is negative and thus a valid worry. Worry here is still the somewhat exclusive focus on the negative aspects of the issue or matter. Worry anxiety is thus insisting that negative is all there is to what's coming.
Mhm. Mhm.
Simple, plain old habits. We come into the world, and what's around us is worry and anxiety to various degrees. We learn, and we also don't learn any alternatives. Thus, it becomes habit before we know it. Habit from which we have no real choice, or so it might seem. Anxiety and worry are unfortunately our defaults. When anxiety and worry are paramount, we believe we should worry and be anxious.
Mhm.
Yeah, should is a great evil. Should is a great evil. There we go. All right. Even if we weren't, so again, we're on conditioned behavior and response. Is that last one condition or just plain old habit? Yeah. Conditioned behavior and response. Even if we weren't predisposed to anxiety and worry, when we did, this was reinforced by society. Worry typically is approved of in a subtle way as a caring about matters. It shows you're a good person, a subtle belief system at play. Also, if we don't worry, we show up those who do. So, our authority figures entrench their behavior by focusing on conditioning us to do us into the same. That, that so must be a different new sentence here. Okay. Folly is often a result of inappropriate application of goodness. Folly is sadly, yeah, right? Makes it a little bit more potent, yeah?
Mhm. Mhm.
There we go. Makes for a nicer shaping of it as well. For some reason, I thought there's a bit more on this conditioned behavior and response in terms of our default. Even if we weren't predisposed to anxiety, and when we did, this was reinforced by society. I suppose our default is to care, right? We'll say it that way, right? That's a little extra here. We default to caring, and unfortunately, we've been taught that caring is to be worried about somebody, to be concerned about them, right? So we show caring via anxiety or worry. But is this the only way we can do so? Yeah.
Say that again, Phil.
Our default is caring.
Hmm.
There we go. All right. Why is my A not typing? See, all my A's are missing. Something wrong with my A's. Got a lazy A. There the hell. All right. Yeah. Caring. All right. Somewhere there was a capital. There we go. All right. Our default is caring. It's also a deeply reinforced behavior via societal pressures. We can come to believe caring is best shown through anxiety and worry, but of course it is not. To emphasize that to the end of paragraph, right? It's not even the only way we can show caring. It's a way, one of many. Not the best way by far, but we can believe thus, which reinforces the feeling, putting us into a caring anxiety loop. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Beena, anything on this?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Where'd you go, Beena? Where'd you go? See what the next category is. Condition misapplication of goodness. I think that's already covered, no?
Mm.
We can say something. Yeah, yeah. We can make the point about goodness being, since we just come off conditioned behavior and response, we can make the point about our goodness. Oh, what happened to my? I thought I covered that. Oh, yeah. We can make the point about uh, goodness being expressed traditionally via negatives. Right? Don't do this, don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
So this leads us to this misapplication of goodness and caring and negativity. Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Let's just, I'll just say, I don't say, Ah, not default or the predominant. Imposters. Why is it imposters? What's wrong with imposters? Oh. Impostors. Oh, interesting. Okay. Yeah. Wonder. Imposters of what? Oh, imposters of goodness. Imposters of caring. Yeah. Okay. Does that make sense? When we've grown up, where don't. I don't want that. We don't, and thus negative prohibitions of behavior are the predominant way we're told to be good. It's no wonder we have negative associations with how to be good. Anxiety and worry are such ways. Understanding they are misguided attempts at doing and being good greatly assists us in understanding what those two imposters of caring are. Yeah? Kind of repeating somewhat, but my experience with warriors. Wow, here we go with the pressures of should.
Mm-hmm.
I've already spoken about should, but all right, elaborate a little more. Again, just I was going to pay attention to being aware of the pressures of should. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
we already sort of covered that when we believe worrying.
Mm-hmm. Doesn't hurt to
Yeah, to re-emphasize it.
Mm-hmm.
This is more remedy. Yeah.
Mhm.
Let's reverse the order a little bit, just to keep people awake.
Mhm.
All right. Yeah, does this make sense? Anxiety and worry are so
Mhm.
often a should. This automatically makes
Them.
them
Mhm.
seem to be good. That's after all what a should is, a good we must do. Understanding this association and what's implied by it is fundamental to understanding our connectivity to worry and anxiety.
Is
Yeah,
it?
it's very helpful to be aware
Yeah.
of should.
Yeah. Is it after all, it's a should, what a should is, that's after all what a should is. A good we think we must do or we just
Yeah.
must do?
Well, yeah, that we believe we must do, or a good we.
Yeah.
I'd put a must in inverted commas.
Mhm.
There we go. Yeah. There's no must to it. Yeah. Yeah. Go, go. Beena, what do you think? Where'd you go? Oh, where's Beena at? Oh, distortions of guilt. Oh, now this is interesting. Hmm. I can't remember this connectivity. I'll have to think it through a little bit here. Beena, where you, Beena? I want to hear you on this. I want to hear you. Oh, trying to remember now how guilt. That's why I like these categories. When you do them ahead of time. I was saying, you've pretty much got most of the work done. Even if you
Mhm.
don't remember, you can kind of figure it out. So
Mhm.
you anxious and worrying. Because you feel guilty that you haven't done what you need to do,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
If I haven't done my homework, if I haven't prepared, if I'm not ready, I feel guilty because I haven't done what I know I should have done. So
Mhm.
I project this forward into worry. Yeah,
Mhm. Mhm.
yeah, that's right. That exactly like that. There was something else that I had in mind here. Mm, The distortion of guilt. I think it just comes out. I think often anxiety and worry is just simply that we feel guilty about something in some way or another. We don't want to feel guilty, so we feel something negative, which is socially sanctioned, like anxiety and worry.
Mm-hmm. I haven't done what I know I needed to do. I know.
No.
All doesn't fit. You're gonna have to raise it up and stretch it out.
Yeah,
There you go.
yeah, it's just that lag. Yeah. All right. If I haven't done what I know I needed to do, and I know I am thus unprepared or even incompetent because I've not made efforts to learn, I feel guilty about my lack of appropriate effort, and I can project this forward as anxiety and worry. Guilt is not good to feel because of its implied origin, and thus our implied responsibility. When we do feel guilty, it's much easier to shift into feeling anxiety and worry because those are much more acceptable and even mean we are good. Anxiety and worry are often thus just distortions of guilt and also other feelings and emotions we don't want to acknowledge, deal with, and feel. I guess such as feel. There we go. Okay. Maybe I shouldn't say distortions of guilt. Well, we feel guilty for feeling any of those feelings, so that's why guilt is kind of the, I can say, distorted feelings. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I think that last sentence is just hanging there. What such a shame, anger, resentment. What does that mean? I think is there a comma or is that
Well, and also other feelings and emotions we don't want to acknowledge, deal with, and feel. Right? Other feelings and emotions, such as shame, anger. It goes to the other feelings and emotions. I could make it in one
a
sentence.
comma or a dash?
What's that? Yeah, that's what I was saying. I could put it. It don't really matter. There we go. Anxiety and worry are often thus just distortions of guilt, and also other feelings and emotions we don't want to acknowledge, deal with, and feel, such as shame, anger, resentment, jealousy, etc. Yeah, it works either way. I just like to make the break the sentences, gives them a bit more punch, and then it's an extra thing on top of that. But either way. All right. So yeah, because people feel guilty for being angry. They feel guilty for
Mhm.
resentment, jealousy. All of these are feelings in themselves, but they almost always come with guilt as well.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing. Any negative emotion, really, there's guilt associated with it. When we're a good person, that is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why it's distortions of guilt, because all of them lead to guilt. And then, because you're feeling guilty, you did something bad, whatever it was, you now worry and feel anxious instead. It's projected into that or transformed into that, distorted into that. So, yeah, pretty interesting. Pretty interesting. This being aware of what exactly it is, it's very helpful. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Definitely.
Justifications and validations. I don't remember what this is. Well, we'll see. Good process to know, when you're in it and you're thinking of it, write it down, make these encapsulations, make these bullet points, because you can always recreate them, but you don't always remember them, right?
Mhm.
Oh, so how is worry and anxiety a justification and a validation? Beena, where are you, sweetness? I want to hear your thoughts on this.
Okay,
Beena,
I was
maybe.
no, I was
Oh,
here, but I
ah,
have some guests, so they came for condolence.
oh, I
So
figured. I figured.
anyway,
All right.
yeah,
Oh,
it's fine.
yeah, no worries. Beena. When you
I'm
can, when you can, just ignore me otherwise.
no, I'm just listening. Sorry, I was not ignoring. Yeah.
So how is anxiety and worry, or when is anxiety and worry a justification or a validation? There was some point we had here, but I can't remember.
Like
When you
any,
worry and you're anxious, Venus, Sue, when is it a
It's just
justification and a
about
validation?
the feelings we believe. You justify it because you think you care, or there's some misbelief somewhere along the line.
Hmm.
Being aware of exactly.
I mean, we touched on that inappropriate goodness that we worry because it proves we're good. Okay. I guess it justifies and validates that we are good,
Mm-hmm.
or our goodness justifies the anxiety and the worry. Yeah, we get this feedback and belief loop, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think the only justification I can have for anxiety and worry, of course, not appropriate care and concern, but anxiety and worry is I need attention from myself to myself and from others. That is the
Interesting.
only thing I came down. It boiled down to attention in a funny way, of course. Yeah,
Oh yeah, it validates or justifies the need for attention.
yeah,
Yeah. Mm-hmm. In their minds. Yeah.
yeah.
Ah, all right. You have to say that again. All right. Say again. You know.
Yes,
Say again what
sorry.
you said. I was typing, so I didn't hear.
No, I was just saying that everything, whenever it comes to anxiety and worry, the only thing came out for me, the justification is that I need attention. I need attention from myself,
Ah,
from others.
here we
So
go.
I need
There
attention.
we go.
is
Hmm? This one. Further, anxiety and worry, through this connection to caring and goodness, are a way we can get attention. It's justified thus and validates itself supposedly. All they are in such cases are validations for us getting attention. Let's put a but in there.
yeah, but
But
is
oh,
really the caring part a way to get attention? Some people just want attention, and this is the way they do it. They worry about anything and everything. Uh,
right, right. But it's
because
justified as caring.
huh?
It's not that they are caring; they are worrying and anxious. But the anxiety and the worry are justified as being legitimate because they're caring. But that's the justification. Meanwhile, they're just after attention, but they're justifying it. They're justifying the anxiety and worry as being justified because it's them caring.
But it's not just about caring. That's what it sounds
Uh,
like. It sounds like it's just related to care. I see where you're making the connection, but what if somebody just wants
okay.
attention? So,
Yeah, no, no. I think you're making the misconnection. Well, we'll clear it up then. But it's not about the caring. It's further anxiety and worry through this connection to caring and goodness are a way we can get attention. It's not about the caring. It's just it's a path to attention through supposedly caring to. All right, let's put in here.
yeah,
See, I'm just saying. Okay, if we take out that there, we can say further anxiety and worry are a way we can get attention. Yes, they
mhm,
are. It's
correct.
justified us and validates itself supposedly. But that doesn't make sense now. It is through this connection to supposedly caring and goodness, through anxiety, right?
Mm.
Through their connection to supposedly caring and goodness, are a way we can get attention. In other words, if you just were getting attention through anxiety and worry, you're going to be a bit lame. Aren't you going to have no real validity and justification for your anxiety and worry? But I can justify my anxiety and worry as well. I'm being good. Look at me. I'm being good. I'm caring about what you're doing. I care so much. I worry about you. But really, I'm just doing it for attention.
But isn't there other things other than caring and goodness that makes you want attention through?
Yeah, I know, but you're shifting on the attention part. And this is about the justification and the validation. You
Mhm.
don't want to say, I'm just here for attention, right? Because that's lame. Okay. So let's say, yeah, uh, I'll fix the whole thing in a moment. So, right? It's hard to justify wanting attention for attention's sake.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Right. So we we can we can use anxiety and worry. Ah, come on, man. So we can use anxiety and worry through their connection to supposedly caring and goodness as a way we can get attention. See what I'm saying, Sue?
That's so much clearer. That is so much
Okay.
clearer. Yeah.
It's that logic. They're trying to disguise their direct need for attention. So
Mhm.
they, bury it in, oh, I'm just worrying about you and look how good I am. But it's just a way. It's just BS, in other words, right?
Mhm.
Right. All
But
there are in such cases
what
are
if that
validations.
what if they're worrying and anxious because, their health, they're a hypochondriac and, what's that have
Same
to do
thing.
with caring
Same
and
thing. Same thing. Same thing. It's not the caring. The caring is just the rationale that they can use to justify. Say, why are you worrying and being anxious? Well, the real reason is they're looking for attention,
Mhm,
right? But how? But now, if you say, well, why are you worrying attention? Well, because I care. Because well, I'm a good person. I have to worry about stuff, right?
mhm. Well, I
So
guess
it
caring
justifies them doing it.
okay.
Yeah.
Caring sounds like it's only about someone else. Caring can be caring about yourself, your own health, so you
Right,
worry.
right, right. Oh, absolutely. It doesn't matter what you're caring about. It's supposedly caring, just caring in general. So this I'll just say yeah, this is not
Okay.
just uh, you know uh,
Mm,
uh, wise in many ways. Like hypochondria. Well, what other ways do people try and get attention?
mm, um, mm,
Hypochondria, because that's very closely manifested to anxiety and worry. Yeah,
yeah, that nothing goes right for them, that their world, they have this black cloud hanging over them all the time.
right,
Um,
right. Um,
doom and gloom. Yeah, there you go.
where they're looking for attention, really. Looking they want attention and they get the attention through anxiety and worry, right? Pretending that they're being good, but they're not being good. They're just looking for attention.
what about even inappropriate decisions? Uh, you know, they're full of worry and anxiety. Like for a minute, I thought of that Laura girl. Her anxiety, her worry about being in this in a she knows it's an inappropriate relationship.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? God, there you go. There you go.
Again, it's bad looks as well.
Mhm.
Right.
You mean body image looks, bad looks? You mean body image?
Yeah, whatever. Oh, I'm so bad looking. I'm so terrible. I'm so this. I'm so that.
Mhm,
It's worry and anxiety. It's just attention.
mhm, mhm. There you go. Yeah, yeah. That bit gives it a bit bigger.
So they're disguised under or disguised through or via.
Yeah. Yep. Mhm. Might need to
Just
look.
that subversiveness. This
Mhm,
now we're getting into PSP stuff a little bit here, but this is often the case with anxiety and worry.
mhm.
You're not being honest. I'm sorry. Don't come and try and snow me to try and say you are. You're not. Your anxiety and worry is not honest. It's a way to get attention.
Mhm.
I think I need to put this in the title here: justifications and validations for attention seeking.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, there we go. Stretch that out. Yeah. All right.
I would close up that paragraph. You have 3 paragraphs there, but the first one.
Yeah. 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 Let's see. Oh. Yeah, it's just gonna put a space instead of a. There we go. There we go. All right. I'm gonna go add it to the front. I get the next one too. Mm, all right. Limited context perspective. Wow. That's an interesting one. Is there any more we wanted to say about this attention seeking?
I think that.
That this is a. I mean, there are other ways to attention seek, but I definitely feel that worry and anxiety are. This is like a prime mechanism that people don't. I think somebody like Bernadette doesn't even realize she's doing it.
Mhm. Yeah.
You
Mhm.
know, she doesn't seem to me somebody who's consciously, looking for attention, but she gets it anyway. And it's a powerful, it's a drug. You don't even realize that you are hooked to it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. She doesn't
Mm.
realize she actually needs attention, but she needs to pay attention to
Right.
herself.
Right. I think we need to mention. Well, all right. We'll save that for in our remedy phases. But because we're just saying what it is here now, right?
Mhm.
But this awareness that it's inadvertent, this is a powerful awareness. Yeah.
Mhm.
I think this is the biggest flaw of anxiety and worry is that it's almost always applied in a limited context.
Mhm.
Uh,
I'm gonna let Hercules out a minute. I'll be right back.
oh, sure. Almost always, anxiety and worry are applied in a limited context because, of course, the positive usually has just as much chance of being true as the negative. Yet, worry and anxiety only focus on the negative. It's a limited context perspective, thus. Now, Beena, does this make sense? You don't have to say. I'm just reading. I don't know if you can reply or not, but I'm assuming you can hear me.
Yes, I can hear
So,
you, and I'm looking at the
oh,
screen.
good. Oh, good. Sweet.
Yeah.
So, almost always, anxiety and worry are applied in a limited context because, of course, the positive usually has just as much chance of being true as the negative. Yet, worry and anxiety only focus on the negative. It's a limited context perspective, thus.
Yes.
Further, probability is ignored, not even considered. This restriction of context severely concentrates energy and attention, magnifying what's focused on. Magnifying what's focused on. And when that is potentially negative, the result is anxiety and worry.
Hmm.
Yeah, very cool. That's a nice place to end what anxiety and worry is, because that really
Yeah.
made a nice understanding of it there.
Yeah. Read it again, still in your voice.
All right. Almost always, anxiety and worry are applied in a limited context because, of course, the positive usually has just as much chance of being true as the negative. Yet, worry and anxiety only focus on the negative. It's a limited context perspective, thus. Further, probability is ignored, not even considered. This restriction of context severely concentrates energy and attention, magnifying what's focused on via the immersion. And when that is potentially negative, the result is anxiety and worry. What's focused on via the immersion. And when that is potentially negative, the result is anxiety and worry. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Very cool. Very cool. Probability for me is actually a very sacred power conception.
Hmm.
It's a huge deal, and I feel like it probably will make a course just on probability,
Huh.
just on that alone. That's how potent it is. The consequences and the implications, especially for our impeccability, it's just so huge. It's such a big deal. Such a
Hmm.
big deal. Um, you're probably okay walking across the street when you're on a crosswalk, right? On a zebra crossing, as we call them, zebra crossings, we call them. Uh, you're probably going to be okay and not get run over, right? 99 times out of 100, you're probably going to be okay,
Hmm.
right? What happens
Right.
on the 100th time? You get
Yeah.
run over when somebody doesn't respect your rights. You know, I see people literally walk across the street across when they're in a crosswalk. Oh, but I'm safe. I don't have to look and pay attention. They,
Hmm.
they, they believe the probability. And of course, they get run over at some point when somebody's not paying attention or drunk or whatever. Just because you have the right of way doesn't mean somebody else is going to respect your rights. It's astonishing. But this is just because it's highly probable. Doesn't mean that you can live according to that only. So this is why it's sacred to me. It makes us understand that I have to pay attention to that 100th time. I have to know I'm taking a risk, even if it's a small risk, because not paying to attention is going to guarantee you get wiped out when that 100 comes around. Whereas if I'm paying attention and I'm looking, I don't take that chance. Okay, and when the car doesn't stop, I can run out of the way or whatever.
Right.
Very important. Very, very, very important.
That'll be
So
it.
there's many ways in which a probability comes into it. It's a big deal. It's a very big deal. Very big deal.
Yeah.
A worry. You understand probability. You say, that's what I was so astonished with my mother and her friend. Whatever they're worrying about. And I would hear next week. And I looked at the thing, whatever it was. It never came about. And after a couple of weeks, I said, but they're worrying about something, and I thought what they had was realistic, that it's likely to happen. It never happened even once. It's
Oh,
like, and they just kept on. They just found something new to worry.
wow.
No, and again too, they never ever considered the probability that it might turn out positive. Just no, 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 wasn't a part of their thinking. So their lack of probability was this entire big deal of worry just came from just that, just that.
But underneath that, that need to worry, did we touch on that? That need to just be doing something that it's like it was silly for them to just all sit there and worry.
Yeah, we
Oh,
did, we did. It came out in the justifications, distortions of guilt, pre- should misapplication
good.
of goodness. But yeah, absolutely, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
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 So I
Obviously,
think we can
sometimes,
we can add in here pressures of should.
yeah.
Anxiety and worry are so often a should. This
Yeah.
automatically makes them seem to be good. That's after all what a should is. Understanding this association and what's implied by it is fundamental to understanding our connection of worry. All right, I want to just say, add this to this that um, not because just because we aren't aware of any other options. Just because we that's a better way of saying it. Just because we aren't aware of it in there yet
And
of
what
any other options. Yeah. Often we just simply do what we feel we should, like worry, just because we aren't aware. I'll just take out the yet. It's too clumsy. We aren't just because we aren't aware of any options
Mhm.
or not aware of any other options. Better.
um does that cover, can people become anxious and worry because of their boredom? Because they don't
Yeah,
know how
yeah,
to really
yeah.
just fulfill their lives
Right,
appropriately with
right.
good.
Lack of options. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Mhm. Hercules.
There we go. Lack of available options combined with default conditioning restricts what we do without us even realizing it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we covered this in
Mhm.
uh, conditioned behavior and response. Yeah. It's reinforced by typically approved. It's a typical way, shows you good. But we didn't specifically say that we do it because we just didn't have any other option. Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, here's the point I think you're making. I wonder where to put this justifications. Uh, wow. Right, I'll just replicate this. Um, for gossiping
There you go. There you
and
go.
boredom.
Yeah. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. I think that's an awful truth piece of it, that they don't
Yeah,
realize or recognize what they're doing and why they're bringing all that in there. Hmm.
yeah. I want to make it, just say it a little bit. Often excuses for boredom.
Hmm. Awesome. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
There you go. There you go.
extra punch. You see, anxiety and worry are also very often excuses for boredom. All right, I can see that. I'm the anxiety and worrier. Yeah, yeah, true. Okay, there are justifications in that, and of course also a justification and validation for indulging in gossiping. Oh crap! You got me now. You got me now.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's what it was with my mother. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep. 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 Yeah.
Cool.
Hmm. Yeah. Very cool. Very cool. Very cool. I'm trying to think what else in this, boredom, gossiping. What else?
Mm, mm,
Superiority.
mm, mhm, mhm. Um, what else? Mm, mm.
There we go. There we go. Yeah. Yeah, that was part of my mother's uh that whole deal. It's just a way for her to express her superiority. Oh, so and so's gonna get into trouble. So and so's bad. But it's just really saying, by me pointing out how crappy and bad they are, worrying about their failures and flaws in this. Now, they didn't say it in that way, of course, but it's a, well, I'm superior. I'm not doing that. They doing that. They gonna get into trouble.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Hmm. Yeah. Anything to pull someone else down, you're just making it sound like you care, but you don't really.
Exactly, exactly. If you're pointing out something negative, you by default automatically uh, superior in some way.
Yeah.
Also, Erica was talking about this, pointing out problems, because this is a reverse thing. It doesn't apply here. But if you point out the problem, oh look, that's wrong. That needs because you're good and you're paying attention to what's wrong because this is part of your goodness. It's also being negative.
Hmm.
You hear this all day long from somebody. Oh, here comes, Miss pointing out what's wrong with everything. Oh God, do we have to listen to this again? You know. They're not trying to be superior. They're actually misapplication of goodness. But it can be they think they are being good and positive, and actually they're being horribly negative. It's amazing.
Hmm.
Sad, 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 sad.
Yeah, it's a tricky thing to correct somebody.
Exactly,
I mean,
exactly,
the correction is required many times, but it's how
correct,
you do it. It's how you
exactly. Capital
appropriate.
D diplomacy. It's absolute necessity and essentialness.
Mhm.
All right, let's just say end session. This was end session 2. So we had introduction 1, 2. Anything you want to add, Beena? I could just make a little comment sometimes, you know.
Mhm.
Just be naughty.
But is there an appropriate time to worry?
Yeah, yeah. It's just saying it as a statement rather than there is probably
Mhm.
if it helps to focus your mind, focus your awareness. Okay, I've got an upcoming exam. Let me worry about have I done enough.
Mm.
All right. So, but again, not really, because now you're just being prepared and cautious and thinking things through. So it's the laboring. So worrying is something to worry about because you are adding a negative component to something that is positive. If worry is appropriate, then it's caution, then it's preparedness, then it's being diligent and scrupulous and all sorts of wonderful stuff. But the worry adds that negativeness, which sucks more energy and makes you less efficient and effective at doing what you want to do. So worry is a self fulfilling worry.
Mhm. Is
Maybe I
yeah.
would say that.
Yeah.
I'd
Is
say
but
that.
worrying is something to worry about. Worrying is something to
Yeah,
worry.
yeah, yeah. But I'll say worry is a self fulfilling worry. Not worrying, because it's worry itself. It's a self-fulfilling worry. Thing to actually now worry about. Just for fun. It's just to kind of, you don't have to do anything about it. I don't have to say this at all. I'm just kind of being naughty a little bit. It's just kind of squirm your brain a little bit.
Yeah,
It's,
I
it's
like
the
that one.
idea.
Worrying is
Something to worry about.
something to worry about because that's something you have to pay attention to.
Yeah,
To worry that what am I doing here? Or is
yeah,
it worrying is something to be aware of?
yeah, yeah,
Of course it is, you know,
yeah.
but
All right, well, let's put that in as a quote. Why my N decides to go after the G, I don't know. G, stop bullying the N. Leave it alone. Never, I do it repeatedly.
mhm,
Strange thing. And it's a thing that came about while I was typing and writing all the books and stories and stuff.
mhm.
All right, so there's your quote, Sue. Worrying is something to actually worry
Or-
about.
yeah, yeah. It's a realistic worry that can change too, you know, that can be
Exactly.
mhm,
Right, right. But now, I mean, the foolishness is exposed by the quote that's layered, which is very cool because now you get into this. Hey, oh, my heater's on, but it's ice cold. What
mm,
the hell?
uh-oh.
Oh, hmm.
What is it? A plug-in
A,
stand?
a radiator, one of those freestanding
Yeah.
radiators. Oh, was working earlier. No reason for it to stop working. Oh, it's most intriguing.
Interesting. There's Jussalau just wrote an interesting thing about anxiety on
Ah,
Facebook.
interesting.
I'm
Interesting.
going to read it. Anxiety and free diving are closer than you may think.
Hmm.
No good reason, but your mind and your body, potential symptoms come up with hundreds of painfully convincing reasons. Anxiety is believing the worst scenario is going to happen. Why? No good reason, but your mind and your body, potential symptoms, come up with hundreds of painfully convincing reasons. Sometimes as simple as You put yourself in that situation. You deserve it. Or it's just a matter of days or hours before something bad strikes your life again. When I was dealing with panic attack or agoraphobia, those were my fears, and imagining the worst, I was trying to visualize myself in the worst case scenario and actually think through what would happen and how I would react. So the worst possible thing happens, and what? The best and worst part of free diving is that it's all you, like anxiety.
Mm.
There's no breathing device like in a scuba diving, just your body and your thoughts, like anxiety. Neuron release brain chemicals known as neurotransmitters, which generate these electrical signals in your neighboring neurons. The electrical signals propagate like and negative thoughts. Negative thoughts, positive thoughts equal more negative hormones increased respiratory heart rate, and less oxygen, like anxiety. A free diver can't stay in the deep dark of the ocean for too long. He needs his light and oxygen back, same as someone suffering from anxiety or a panic attack. No matter what is going on in your life today, believe me, you will see the light sooner or later. No matter how scary, far, complicated, or unknown a goal is, it is out there with a stronger and better version of yourself. No matter how scary, far, deep, complicated, or unknown a goal is, it is out there with a stronger and better version of yourself to your recovery. Droslao. Huh.
Oh,
Gross. Hmm.
cool. Very cool. Now, for whatever reason, I can't get to where I want to go. But, oh, well. My window's gone full screen, and it doesn't want to come out of full screen. Hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, you
Weird.
know what? That happened to me the other day. I'm like, I had to come out of it. I'm like, why am I unable to change out of full screen? That's exactly what happened to me the other day.
Oh, well. Luckily, we remember the old tricks. Control Alt Delete. I don't want to reboot, but it gives you an option to bring up the task manager. You're on a Mac, so you won't have this. And then that brought up the taskbar at the bottom. I don't know. I see quite a bit of odd and weird stuff happening in just the computing. And I suspect that they're going to figure out that we've got, yeah, here when I click on this program again, it does the same thing. It just brings it back out again. They're going to find some weird virus that we all have that's causing these weird problems. That's what I suspect.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not letting me do this. So, usually you just got to reboot when this stuff happens, right? Very strange. Hmm. Yeah, just doesn't want to know. Hmm. Hmm. Well, Alt F4, close window. I don't know if that works on a Mac, but I would imagine it does.
Say it again.
Alt F4.
Alt F4.
Yeah, it closes whatever window is currently active. It's a famous gaming thing. The guy says, "Oh, how do I take care of this? How do I do this? What's the shortcut for this?" And then always the wisecracks, in chat who would say, "Oh, just press Alt F4." Just being naughty, the poor newbies. Oh, cool! And then the next thing they're out of the game.
Hmm.
I gotta log in again. Yeah, naughtiness, naughtiness, naughtiness. All right, so let me open this up again and see. Yeah, I wonder why my heater just stopped working.
Wow.
I'm like, man, I'm getting cold. I turned up the heater, and then like nothing. It just completely stopped working.
Hmm.
It's ice cold. Oh, lucky I have other heater, but that's
Yeah.
pretty wild.
What
Warranty?
is your temperature out there lately? Outside.
I'm not very cold. I only put it on when and most of the night I was outside the blankets. So I don't know what the
What's your outside
temperature is, but
temperature lately?
I don't know. Yeah, let's see. What does it say here? But even though it's been raining and that, we had a lot of rain, which is really cool. Not heavy rain, but long, consistent rain. Oh,
Hmm.
let's see. What does it say? Yeah, it's strange the weather. It was cold when I first got here. And I was sleeping under 3, 4 blankets. Now, yeah, I don't even sleep under one. Well, they duvets, but still. 6 degrees Celsius.
What's
What
that
is
in
that in
Fahrenheit?
Fahrenheit? Yeah, let's see. Where do I shift this again? Mm, usually it tells me both. Mm, oh, come on. I'll go look on my thermometer, which has both Fahrenheit and Celsius. Uh, 6 degrees is, let's see, it's right about 40.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah. Uh, well, I didn't buy this too long ago, so hopefully it's still under warranty. We'll see. We'll see. But I mean, I wasn't doing anything to it. It just of its own accord decided to do this. It's not like I was moving it or anything. It just all of a sudden, there we go. No more heat. That's quite fascinating. Huh. I don't really need the heaters. I've got so much wonderfully warm clothing and stuff I can do. But it's a little more convenient, I gotta say. Pretty interesting though. Just like that. I had these before, and they were I had them for years and years and years. Never a problem. That's intriguing.
Hmm.
And I mean, it was on. The power was on, so that's what I thought
Yeah.
first. Maybe the power went out.
Yeah.
But
And
no,
you
the
didn't
lights
blow
are on for everything.
a circuit breaker, because
No, it
sometimes.
can't be because the light on the heater was on still,
Hmm.
so it can't be power. And I just plugged the other heater I have into the exact same plug,
Hmm.
so can't be that.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's just very weird.
Mhm. Hmm.
Very strange.
Hmm.
Hmm. It could be just that the thermostat went out on it, and
Oh,
now it thinks it's too warm to go on. So
correct. Yeah.
something like that. So that would be my guess. That's
Yeah.
about the
Once it
most
reaches
big part
temperature,
of
it
it.
automatically shut off and then turn back.
Exactly, exactly. So if the thermostat goes, then it thinks it's there.
Correct. Yeah. All right. Well,
Thinking it's not truth.
yeah.
It just believes.
It's about
All
10
right.
and 9. I'm gonna buzz off because
Okay.
I have to do my exercises now because I wasn't getting up at 3 o'clock this morning, and I have house calls to make today to go to. One of them is that friend of the good friend of Robin that had the stroke and the carotid artery. So
Amanda,
Amanda, yes, yeah, I'm going to be going to
good.
her
Are you
house.
gonna go actually go visit her?
I'm going to work on her. She wants
Oh, work
reflexology.
on her. Oh, as a house call though.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, brilliant, brilliant. Oh, very exciting, very exciting, very exciting.
Well,
Very cool, very cool. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. I love it.
Okay,
I love it.
Sue.
See
okay,
you
guys.
tomorrow.
I'll
I'll
see
see
you
you tomorrow.
tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
Bye bye.
Bye
Bye.
bye. Bye for now. Yes.